Welcome back to RichAudio. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you for having me, Richie. Really appreciate it.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Eric Koenig. I'm an electrical engineer by trade, but I have been working as a language instructor in Germany for about 15 years now. So Leipzig is a city of Bach. For the physicists out there listening, it's also the city where Werner Heisenberg.
I'm sure there's no physicists
listening.
to this.
Let me give a shout out to the one physicist who's listening.
Oh, actually, I have a friend who's what kind of physicist is he's studying his master's at NTU.
Okay.
Physics.
All right. Well, he'll know the Heisenberg principle, and Werner Heisenberg was a professor at the university in Leipzig at the beginning of the 20th century.
Great. Hopefully he'd listen to this. Would you recommend them to go to your university as an exchange student?
We have had students from Datong at my university in the past. It's been AFL students.
Yes.
So they are able to go over there. They are able to earn some credits towards their degree. So it's not that they lose a semester. And I think Nuremberg is a fine place to spend a semester or even a year. The university is well established. We're used to having international students. We're a fairly large city, and we have good transportation ties to everywhere else in Germany and in Europe, for that matter. They're in a bubble. They've got their place to live, but the center of their day is around the university. The people that they meet are primarily those at the university.
Yes.
And now we do see the effect that international students tend to bunch together.
Oh.
Okay. Now, of course, there are exceptions, but in general, you'll go to Germany and your friends will be other international students rather than German students.
Do you think German students, they don't interact with international students as much?
I don't think that's the issue. It's just that the international students probably are staying in the same building. They're probably taking the same courses, and then they have the same interests. A German may be less likely to want to travel and see the places that are international students, whereas another international student would have that same itinerary. When they are at the university...
She intend to do a short-term internship in Germany. Would that be possible?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a very established internship program in Germany at universities as well as in industry. And it's very common for companies, medium-sized companies, all the way up to large companies, to have internships. And 6 months sounds like an absolutely valid length of time.
Apply for visa in Germany. Student asked if I didn't study for masters in Germany. I only have an undergraduate degree. Would it be very difficult to apply for visa in Germany?
That is actually a very current topic in Germany.
Yes.
And they have just introduced a new program where it is possible for foreigners to come to Germany and reside there for a year and look for a job while they are there. So I imagine that would open up a lot of opportunities, even for people who do not have a master's degree. It's not necessarily a disadvantage because many companies prefer bachelor students because they can pay them less than some with a master's.
Can you tell us more about Koblenz?
Yes, Koblenz is a very nice city. It's in the western part of Germany, getting close to France and Luxembourg. It is where the Rhine and the Mosel rivers flow together. So there's an important union of two rivers there. It's in close to the wine growing areas of Germany. It's in the Rhineland. If you've ever seen those famous posters or perhaps videos of the tour ships going down the Rhine River with the wine hills on the left and right and the castles, Koblenz is right in the heart of that area. Although, bad things can happen anywhere at any time, but generally Koblenz is not somewhere you never know, but it's not a place that's in the news very often.
Is that area safe?
Koblenz is not an incredibly large city. I'd have to look exactly how many people it has. I imagine somewhere slightly over 100,000 or so. I would consider it very safe, yes. I like Taiwan a lot. There's a lot to be said. It's not too big. It's possible.
It's quite small.
It's quite small, yeah. It's possible to get a much better feel for the country than perhaps a larger country. You can get anywhere, on a day trip and be back home again.
Yeah.
I like, the culture here is so completely different from what I'm used to, from where I grew up and where I live. It's fascinating. Any walk through a market, and I see things I've never seen before. I find the people very, very friendly. I've never had any negative experience here, actually.
No, none.
None. It's pretty amazing. I mean, if I did, I forgot about it already. So it's
Great.
It's my happy place.
What's your impression of Taiwanese students in general?
Well, I find them very pleasant to work with. They are always very polite.
Yes.
They take the assignment seriously,
Oh.
and I get the feeling that they appreciate what I'm trying to do. Having Taiwanese students rather than primarily the German courses I have, it's the classroom coming into a completely different clientele than what I'm used to, coming in and where it's relatively rare for them to have a native speaking instructor. Just the appreciation I feel from the students when I teach the lesson. It's leaves a very positive impression in my mind.
Wow, because it's different for them, it's different for you.
Exactly.
It's
Yep.
something new, so you enjoy it more.
That's correct. Yeah. Engineering students in general tend to have less interest in foreign languages. And then the problem is that they are more likely to lose a semester if they go and travel because they are not able to take the exact courses they need.
Right.
So that's something that still needs to be developed, that we have the English language engineering courses in Germany and in Taiwan where the people would be able to go back and forth.
Engineering English courses. What do you call it?
We call them technical English.
Technical English?
Yes.
Are the students quite engaged because it has something to do with their specialty?
Well, there's always a spectrum in the class. At German university, there is no mandatory attendance.
So you don't have to go to class?
You do not have to go to class. It's possible to simply register for the course and then show up for the exam. That's another thing. In the German system, there are no midterms. In many cases, there's only a single exam, and it's
wow.
at the end of the semester. It all boils down to that one exam.
So you take one exam and you're done for the class?
Yes.
Wow. So if you failed the exam, you failed the class?
That's correct. A major difference I noted, because I'm originally from the United States, I've been in Germany now for about 30 years. The German system places much more emphasis on the personal responsibility of the students. So, for example,
would you be unhappy that they never went to your class, or just...
Well, as a teacher, I do put time and energy into preparing my courses,
Yes.
And I feel I'm giving it a whole effort. Someone that only shows up for the exam, I don't have that same feeling.
Wow.
I certainly appreciate when people do come to class, when people do the homework, and don't simply try to get the credit points with a minimum effort. To have people show up for the final exam and I've never seen them before.
That's quite scary, don't you think?
I think they get used to it. It's, of course, we could discuss whether pedagogically it makes the most sense to have it that way. At least with a midterm, the people are studying, more than once before the exam. I'm not sure how that system came to be historically, but that's the way they do it. So it's not uncommon for me